Yeah, interestingly enough, that's a psychological term called the anchoring effect. So with the
Oh,
anchoring effect,
okay.
yeah. So what happens with the anchoring effect is like someone is more privy to accept and promote and support the first set of information that they receive, and
Okay.
all the information that's received after that, it's not necessarily new information. They try to make it correlate to the first set of information that they
Oh,
got.
okay.
A lot of people in marketing use that. A lot of real estate investors like use that anchoring effect. Say, for instance, a good example of the anchoring effect is, say, for instance, I owned a store and I was just, I used to be a retail manager about 20 years ago, and I used to actually do purchasing and ordering. So I would buy stuff wholesale. I worked at a sports store, and so we would buy the T-shirts for $5-10 and sell them for 30, you know what I mean, and to get a profit from it. And so what happens is a lot of times when you're in those stores, like especially the high-end stores, they're wholesale, they're paying $7-10 for it. They're selling it for 50, right? And so what happens is that's a $40 profit. And so what happens is they'll say $49.99, and they'll just wait for a few people to buy that. And then they'll say on sale today, clearance $29.99, right? So now your mind is thinking, oh, I'm getting a deal,
Yes. Yeah.
where in essence you're not. They're still profiting, $20-30 from it, $25-30 from it, right? And so that's what the anchoring effect is. And a lot of times when it comes from the standpoint of apologetics, people are more privy to hear, and that's why it's hard to unlearn something. When I was in the Word of Faith movement, it was really hard to unlearn many Word of Faith things, as far as like touch not thine anointed, taking another scripture out of context. As a man thinketh, 20 Proverbs 23:7. It was hard to unlearn that. It was hard to learn. It was hard to unlearn things biblical when it comes to tongues and tithing and things like that. It was really hard to unlearn a lot of biblical concepts in its proper context, because you
Right.
keep hearing so many things that's kind of infused by the pastor at the time to say, hey, don't say you're sick. You don't have enough faith.
Right.
If you're sick, you don't have
Right.
enough faith, right?
Right.
The tithe or die principle. The Bible it was clear as far as Paul in 2 Corinthians 8-9. We're supposed to give. We're supposed to be cheerful givers. But there's a lot of Word of Faithers that has that. That tithe or die, taking Malachi 3 out of context, things like that. And so it's really hard to unlearn that type of things, because if you feel like you're giving generously, but it's 8% or 12%, you know what I mean? Like you kind of feel so like defeated in your head, you know what I mean? And that's what's hard to unlearn. And a lot of these people, instead of going through that rough unlearning process, especially when it comes to getting away from erroneous Christian doctrine, they're more prone to the new information. They're more prone to correlate it to the anchor. They're more prone to correlate it to what they've been hearing.
Right.
Even if it doesn't, even if it makes absolutely no sense, they'll try to find their way to defend the first set of information that they
Right.
received.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting concept.